This might just be the best Master Duel NR Festival deck right now. If you enjoy Master Duel content, be sure to subscribe to this channel, it would be really appreciated. But without further ado, let's get into this deck. Now, Gadgets are an archetype dear to my heart. I played them back in the day when we still played with Royal Oppression. Wow, that is real old. So these cards initially came out with green Gadget, red Gadget, and yellow Gadget. So they all have the effect that they search for each other. So you normal or special summon green, he looks for red. You normal or special summon red, it looks for yellow. You normal or special yellow, it looks for green. That is just the initial idea. And then you play a bunch of cards that special summon those out, and then together they form new Xyz monsters, and then they also add copies to your hand so you have some follow-up. It doesn't feel quite as unfair as modern Yu-Gi-Oh, obviously, but they can still put in some work, especially in an event like this. What you can also do with this deck is maybe play heavier engines of other decks. If you don't feel like playing all of this removal, maybe you can play a heavier Infinitetrack engine. If you feel like you maybe want some more starters and extenders, maybe you can put in a tin goldfish, this cutie right here. So that is all possible, but the idea behind Gadget / Infinitetrack is, in my opinion, probably going to be one of the best decks right now. So we have 3 of each of the yellow, green, and red, and then we have the silver. So silver Gadget and gold Gadget, we'll get to that later, are some of the newer additions to this overall archetype. So we can go over them right now. When this card is normal special summoned, you can special summon 1 level 4 machine monster from your hand. So that's another Gadget usually. It'll be your red or your green. And then if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 level 4 Gadget from your deck except silver Gadget. So literally you go silver Gadget, special summon your green, red, yellow. He then grabs something else. Now you can rank them off. And then in a similar vein, you have gold Gadget who does the same thing. So when this card is normal or special summoned, you can special summon 1 level 4 machine monster from your hand. And then if this card is destroyed, la di la di la. It's basically the same effect. Those give you 2 level 4s on the field, which you can then rank off. However, the most important card probably in my opinion is the Infinitetrack Anchor Drill. This card says if this card is normal or special summoned, you can special summon 1 Earth machine monster from your hand in defense position. Note that all of your Gadgets here are Earth. So you special summon that out, and then you can search the other one to your hand so you have some follow-up. But then the most important part here, you can target 1 other machine monster you control. The levels of both that monster and this card become the combined original levels of those 2 monsters. So you have this level 4, special summons out a Gadget that's also level 4. Put those together, level 8. So now they're both level 8, meaning you can rank them into an Xyz that's rank 8. And the Xyz that you're making is Draglubion. Now you've seen me make this card before on this channel with Dangers in a Chaos deck the last event, but here in this event he's still viable. He's absolutely amazing. We'll get to him later, but just think about that. You basically want to have this in all your opening hands ideally, because this plus something else automatically creates probably the scariest monster in the deck. Then we have Boot Up Corporal Command Dynamo, another Gadget support card. It says you can target up to 2 machine Gadget monsters you control or in your graveyard with different names, special summon this card from your hand, then equip those targets to this card. So this is more follow-up. Now, if you wanted to play more Gadgets, more Gadget monsters, you can play this guy. And there's also another one, another Corporal or something along those lines with 2500 attack. Again, you can just use the search function. If you look up Gadget right here, and then you can see this one, Boot Up Admiral right here. You could add that in again if you wanted a heavier Gadget engine, let's say. But personally, I feel right now removal is so strong. Like a lot of these boards that even the best decks this format make still die to a bunch of this removal. So I still like that. I put in 1 Moon Mirror Shield because in weird situations where you have stuff that can't be targeted or destroyed, like the Draglubion of your opponent cannot be targeted by your card effect. So if you're then able to just normal summon anything and Moon Mirror Shield it, attack it, it at least dies like that. Then you have your Mystical Space Typhoon, just out a lot of that stuff that your opponent is playing. Right now, everyone is playing these crazy traps because again, the boards that people make die to these traps, and so you have to play these traps. So there's definitely an argument for maybe cutting 1 of this Chalice to put in the 3rd Typhoon, because that's pretty solid as well. Then we have our 2 Chalice, again, just negate stuff. This might be the weakest slot in here. You could argue for running, again, like I said, the extra Typhoon, maybe a tin Goldfish, maybe some extra gadget support if you like. Then we have triple torrential tribute. This is just destroy everything. Again, in this format, a lot of stuff is weak to torrential, very solid card. Compulse gets around anti-destruction, and again, stuff is weak to destruction right now. Paleozoic Dinomiscus, again, just a form of disruption. And then we have EMR, tribute one machine monster, then target one card on the field for every 1000 original attack of the tribute monster, destroy those cards. So this may be a bit more greedy, but it's still a solid option. Again, if you want to run more Infinitetrack stuff or something along those lines, that's all fine. Now this card is the meme incarnate. So here's my thinking. If everyone is playing Mystical Space Typhoon, and I saw even some Dust Tornado, to get rid of the cards that destroy them, because everyone is playing all these traps, then putting a little trap along your traps can be pretty cool. So this card, when it's destroyed, lets you special summon one non-effect monster from your extra deck. You can special summon a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Now, I've done this on stream a few times already, and boy, does it feel hilarious. Is it optimal? I don't know, maybe. I think it's pretty solid overall, so I like to put it in. Again, I'm playing like these torrentials, these compulses, these paleozoics. I set them. This is between that. Good luck figuring out which you're gonna destroy, but I might just get a free Blue Eyes Ultimate. Now, finally, we have Oasis of Dragon Souls. Activate this card by targeting one monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position, it becomes a worm, and when this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. So this is basically a Call of the Haunted that turns the thing into a worm. The worm part isn't important, it's just a Call of the Haunted. This might be good, you know, if you want to be able to get stuff back, but if you don't care about that, if you would rather just have more starters and extenders, at least that work on turn 1 and something along those lines. Again, you could play some more of the gadgets, you could play the tin goldfish and so forth. Again, I wouldn't be opposed to maybe taking out a chalice, putting in a typhoon right here, putting in tin goldfish, 1, 2, 3, maybe taking out some of the EMR right here. Something along those lines would probably be good as well. Again, it's about the general idea, and then you can go wild with it. So next we have our one Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Love this card, being able to cheat it out with 10 years ultimate meme. Then we have Gem Knight Pearl. Again, we're basically working with all of the rank 4 Xyzes that aren't awful. This one is pretty shit, but at least he's big. So if your opponent has a threat that you just have to attack over, at least you have access to this. Then we have the Photon Papillo Operative. You can detach an Xyz material, target a defense position monster on the field, change it to attack, and then if you do it, lose a 600 attack. Doesn't come up that often, but hey, maybe it does for you. Then we have the Black Ship. You can detach an Xyz material, target a face-up monster you control with attack less than or equal to this card, send it to the graveyard, and if you do, inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. Can also come up. Then we have this thing. This thing doesn't really come up that much. It's 3 level 4 monsters, but I just felt like since we have so much stuff that leads to other stuff, like your tin goldfish leading to this, and then this leading to a gadget, then you can easily make this guy. And then this can detach the 3 materials and destroy all other face-up monsters on the field. So this is like a dark hole type deal. Pretty solid in my opinion, so I still wanted to have access to the card. Then we have number 80, Rhapsody in Berserk. 2 level 4s, you can target one face-up Xyz monster you control, equip this monster you control to that target, it gains a 1200 attack. You can detach one Xyz material from this card, target one card in your opponent's graveyard, banish that target. Comes up sometimes, though I haven't made it that often just yet. Then we have Diamond Crab. This thing's pretty cool. Not bad. Basically, if you notice, damn, I'm gonna end on something pretty shit, you just end on this instead and hope they can't out it. It says once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card, change this card's defense to 0, and if you do, change its attack to 3000. So you can basically turn this from a very defensive wall type thing into a very big attacker. And then if this card attacks, it is changed to defense position at the end of the battle phase. Obviously, once he has done the attack, he becomes basically weaker. If this card is attacked, change it to attack position at the end of the damage step if it has no Xyz materials. Then we have Gagaga Samurai. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, target one Gagaga monster you control, blah blah blah. You basically make him attack twice. When another monster you control is targeted for an attack while this card is in attack position, you can change this card to face-up defense, and if you do, change the attack target to this card target and perform damage calculation. So this is just an attack sponge. Again, you don't really have like super mega broken incredible Xyzes because the best ones are all SR and higher. So you're basically looking at which effects do I feel can come up, but mostly you're gonna go into the same shit pretty often. This cannot attack unless it has Xyz material. You can detach one Xyz material, target one other face-up monster on the field, change it to face-down position. So this is a Book of Moon on a rank 4. This effect can be activated during either player's turn if this card has blah blah material. That's never the case. Once per turn, you can attach one Super Quantum. That also doesn't come up. So it's just the Book of Moon part. Then we have the card that you probably go in the most often. This is a Train. It requires 2 level 4 machine type monsters, and again, all of your stuff is machine. You can detach an Xyz material from this card, target one machine type monster you control this turn. It can attack your opponent directly, so this card will attack directly. Also, other monsters cannot attack. If this card is in your possession destroyed by an opponent's card, by battle or card effect, and sent to your graveyard, add one level 4 machine type monster from your deck to your hand. This basically gives you back the card you used to make it with, and that way you have more follow-up plays. That's why it's also 2 times in the deck, because it is the thing you're gonna make most often. Then we have the spider right here. Basically, you can remove something, but until your opponent's next standby phase, so it won't be gone forever. And then we have the package that matters the most. Again, it's the Draglubion stuff. Essentially, you make these with Infinitetrack, special summons a gadget or basically another Earth machine, and they become big level 8s. And together they make Draglubion, and then your opponent cannot target this with card effect. So again, it's one of the few cards that doesn't die to all of the removal out there. You can detach one material from this card, take 2 dragon number monsters with different names from your extra deck and or graveyard, except himself, special summon one of them, and attach the other to it as material. So you literally then special summon this guy, which is an insane card, and add this to it. This guy right here basically can wipe your opponent's board, and also can't be destroyed by battle, and also it reverts basically the damage that your opponent deals. So it's like a magic set in there. So if your opponent has a crazy big monster, this thing can basically attack into it, and then he takes the damage. And then the other one you're running is this little cutie right here. So that is my current gadget build. Again, feel free to add or replace stuff if you want to put in more Infinitetrack, if you want to put in more gadget stuff. Go wild. I definitely think this is one of the decks you're going to be seeing the most, and you just got to see, like, as long as you have the main core in there, like your gadgets, your silver, your gold, your Infinitetrack, you're probably going to be fine, and you just got to adapt everything else to your playstyle or to the meta that you're seeing during the hours that you play. Hope you found it interesting. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Ciao.